Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So in this video I'm going to talk about a relationship abuse and why and how on different levels we can see and observe this relationship abuse happening in and around us. So before I get deeper into it, there are a couple of questions that everyone should ask, and I'm sure they wouldn't come up or they wouldn't have a substantial answer to these questions. And the first question is why a mother has to be always sacrificing things, why a husband has to be the bread earner in the family, why the son has to be obedient, and why the daughter-in-law has to be more obedient than their own daughter, and why a wife has to be submissive towards the husband and the in-laws. So I'm sure you all wouldn't get a substantial answer to all these thoughts and ideas that is out there and forced onto relationship as it is. In a couple of my videos I have explained that it's a very beautiful thing. It's an ongoing process of two people, and it really strengthens and it improves, it helps each other evolve. But we are living in a time where we don't have functional relationships. We have mostly toxic and dysfunctional relationships. So this entire idea of mother has to be absolutely 100% ready to sacrifice is a kind of an emotional abuse. Doesn't mother have their own life? Doesn't mother need to focus on their own self-care? Doesn't mother have to love themselves first and then love anything else? Doesn't a husband have to be the one who carries the burden on his shoulder? The burden can be shared between the two, between the couple, between husband and wife, or maybe husband, wife and children, or maybe husband, wife, children and parents. Everyone can share the burden together. Why everyone is given a specific role, and why everyone is stereotyped in a certain way that they need to do this in order to be the perfect version? The more subservient and the more submissive a daughter-in-law is, the more abuse and torture she bears, and the more trauma she goes through, the bestest daughter-in-law she is. The more burden a son takes on his shoulder, the more the son fulfills the wishes and desire of his parents, even if it is not right, but still if he fulfills every wish and desire of his parents, and if he makes good money, and if he has a house and he has a car and he has got a son, and he's got a beautiful family and lots of money, then he is a good son. Otherwise he is not validated as a good son, he is invalidated. So if you see, there is an invisible pressure, whether it is a son, whether it is a wife, whether it's a mother. When it comes to a wife, the wife cannot relax. The wife has to be all the time ready to serve her in-laws. She should be ready to take any abuse from the in-laws and even from the husband, just because husbands are working and they feel pressured and they just vent out their frustration. That is the husband side of the narratives that we hear. From in-law side, that they are old, they don't understand, so that is why they are cranky and they are a little abusive, so it's okay. So she has to bear from all the corners. So, and the same thing if you see with a daughter-in-law, a daughter has to be in a specific way. She needs to agree to everything that the parent says, and she needs to be saying yes to everything that the parent says, even if the parents are wrong. Parents cannot be all the time right, they can be wrong sometimes as well. So till the time the daughter is playing along and saying yes to anything and everything of what the parents are saying or the brother is saying, she's a good daughter. But the moment she questions or she doesn't obey that, she becomes a bad daughter. Now for in-laws have to be extremely tough and difficult, and they need to be, like those masters who train slaves and animals. So if they are a little, friendly in-laws, then they are not good in-laws. Yeah, that's how the society sees. The society is not happy, with others being happy. So there are these invisible, protocols that one has to follow. So some of these relationship lands are being super dysfunctional. Yeah, why can't in-laws be friendly? There are friendly in-laws as well, who are very friendly with their daughter-in-law, with their son-in-law, with their children. There are parents who are very friendly. Why does parent have to be all the time controlling? Why does a husband have to be controlling? So because of these enforced protocols and these enforced systems, there comes a resistance. People can take toxicity for some time, but after some time they begin to say no. And in today's time, of course, the tolerance towards toxicity is zero. People don't take it. People don't take crap, no matter how much heavenly stories you talk about, no matter how much historic or heroic people you put into that story and make up a story that they did this for their grandmother, they did this for their father, mother. It doesn't work out in today's time. In today's time, everybody is looking forward to happiness. Everybody is looking forward to feeling good. Everybody is looking forward to have happy moments. So all these toxicity, abuse, and all these different ideas, I would say that these were mostly the ideas of the illiterates that was pushed into the society, where a person has to be in a specific way in order to be a good son, a good in-law, or a good daughter-in-law, and all of that. And I think it's all a way, if you see, it's all a way and a process to further embolden and legitimize abuse in the society. Because a daughter-in-law should have absolute rights and autonomy to choose not to stay with the in-laws. A son should have the autonomy and the rights not to stay with the parents, and the parents should have the absolute control and autonomy that when the child is grown, that fine, go find your own way. Why do you have to be with us? We raised you, we have helped you grow big. Now you go find your own life, find your own way, make something out of your life, earn your own living. So this codependency in one family, multiple relationships, then toxicity, then this power dynamics, then this forced ideas and forced notions into a relationship. This entire makes it into a royal toxic pudding, and relationship actually becomes very choking and suffocating. And that is the reason in today's time, of course, if you see divorce rates are going up, people are into abandoning relationships. It's not overall functional. See, ideally a functional relationship should be where both parties can sit and talk, where both parties can talk about their vulnerabilities, can talk about their strengths and weakness, and work out together. This idea of forcing things that we can do a lot of things for a lot of people out of love, if we are in good state of mind and if we have love and compassion, and we can really do a lot of things for anyone. We have done good for a lot of people, and we can do good for our relatives or the relations that we have, but when we are choked, that is the time when things snap, and that is the time when people just give up and they quit. So that is the reason the mother-in-law, the daughter-in-law relationships are getting toxic, husband-wife relationships are getting toxic, parent-children relationships are getting toxic. I think every relationship is getting toxic because the abuse is forced, the abuse is legitimized, that a woman has to bear it, a man has to bear it, husband has to bear it, a mother-in-law has to do it, a daughter-in-law has to bear it, a daughter-in-law has to do it. So there is a good image that is built up, and there is an extreme bad image of each of these relations is made. A very good one that is like romanticized, and the worst one that is demonized. There is nothing in between. Do think about it. There is nothing in between that is practiced. It either goes extreme good or it either goes extreme bad. There is nothing in between. There is nothing called balance. And this is especially because people are unaware. They are unaware of emotional regulation. They are unaware of healthy boundaries, and they are unaware of one of the most important fact, that they are responsible for their own happiness. Nobody else can make them happy. People are growing up with an idea that my son will make me happy, my mother-in-law will make me happy, my daughter is going to make me happy. I had been unsuccessful, I had been a loser, my son will make me feel like a millionaire, my son will make me a billionaire. I don't know, these ideas are really non-practical and non-substantial, and it looks as if these ideas have come up from the mind of an illiterate. And by illiterate I mean someone who talks or who thinks in a very impractical way. Everyone's work, everyone is karma is different, everyone's work is different, everyone's life is different. How can someone else be responsible for your happiness or for my happiness? How can someone else be responsible for me? I need to be responsible for myself. I need to be responsible for my health. I need to be responsible for my happiness. I need to be responsible for my own wellness, my diet, my exercise. And if I need to buy something, I need to be responsible, in order to earn a living and fulfill my desires. Why does it always have to be someone else? This toxic system of codependency, to run these endless cycles of dysfunctional families in the society, is actually ruining the society, because there is no balance. As I said, either there is the best side and either there is the worst side. There is nothing in between. There are very few very good in-laws, otherwise they are very bad in-laws. There are very good daughter-in-laws and there are extremely bad daughter-in-laws. There is nothing which is happy and stable and something in between. There is no gray area. It's all black and white. So definitely it is because of, if you see, abused are becoming abusers as well. Emotional dysregulation, people are unable to regulate and understand. Lack of boundaries and lack of introspection. As it is, relationships are so forced, so stereotypical, and people are forced into it, like machineries, like engines, where you are just pumping in coal or petroleum and creating energy, and that's it. So this is what relationships have become, and because of that it's losing its value. There is a huge amount of disconnect, and huge amount of toxicity. So the entire idea behind making this video is for us to realize that relationships develop. Relationships don't come in books, in manuals. It's not come from manuals, or it's not come from up, or somewhere, or a priest wrote it, or a wise man wrote a manual for relationship. It doesn't. Relationships is an ongoing process, and it takes two for any relationship to grow, whether it grows good, whether it grows happy, whether it grows bitter or sad. So it's the responsibility of two. So this needs to be cleared out, that relationship is a two-way process. And one needs to understand that I am responsible for my own happiness. I cannot hold my son responsible for my happiness. I am responsible for my own happiness. I can't catch the collars of my husband, to, make me happy. I can't blame him for not making me happy. It's me who makes myself happy. So this toxicity, dysfunctionality, and this endless cycle of abuse becomes abuser kind of a thing. And you know, what I see in today's time, it's people are just rushing into relationship, forcing, recreating more dysfunctionality. You know, the child is more dysfunctional, the child has got no understanding about emotions, parents are there but they are not there, children are growing up with a lot of feelings and emotions, and they feel as if they are not seen and heard. In relationship, people, I mean both the parties in relationship, feel that they are not seen and heard. So I mean, these all are dysfunctionalities. Relationship is to empower, relationship is to grow together, relationship is to be different but still be together, be critical, be vulnerable, be strong, be weak, whatsoever, but still be together. Yeah, relationship is about talking the most uncomfortable things together. That is what relationship is. Relationship is about exchanging ideas, relationship is about accepting different viewpoints. This is what relationship is, whether it's friendship, whether it's mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, whether it's son and father-in-law, whether it is parent and children, anything. So relationships are very twisted, and I don't know, it's become vicious in today's time. The relationships are, it's turning into a monster. I do come across people with happy and healthy relationship, but majorly are absolutely dysfunctional. And if you see the happiness index, globally, we are ranking so low. India is ranking so low. India is even ranking below Pakistan. So we need to think, because as it is, there is, it's become like a rat race. We have to do this, we have to do that, we are not sorted, we have not healed ourselves, we are going through trauma, but we have to get into a relationship, we have to recreate, and we have to we have to procreate, and we have to bring in a new life, and we have to pass on that dysfunctionality, our dysfunctional thoughts, our dysfunctional process. We have to let the new life inherit it out of us. And inheritance is different. Money, bungalow, car, that is different, that the child is inheriting, but the child should also inherit our dysfunctionality, our dysfunctional thoughts, our toxic thoughts. So it's becoming really chaotic, and it's high time that everyone should spend time alone, figure out things, and then go about making or getting into relationships. Yeah, otherwise this stereotypical way, either a mother is a mother India, or she's absolutely a disconnected version of mother. Either a husband is a hard-working husband who works his sweat off, and or else the husband is a useless husband, a drunk, and crap. So people are not talking about the in between part. People are not talking about the gray area. People are not talking about the okay husband who is lazy also, but who takes care also. People are not talking about husbands who like their partners also helping them. People are not talking about it. It's getting very burdening. Husband has to do this, that's it. If he doesn't do, he's not a good husband. So because of these stereotyping relationships and putting in those invisible protocols in and around that relationship, is that the generation is also identifying and becoming a little bit deluded, that a woman is always seeking a husband who has money. Why not a husband who doesn't make enough money, and you both guys work it out together? Yeah, that is also a possibility. But majorly a woman is always looking for a hard-working man who can provide and who can give a lot of money, who can fulfill her desires. And husband has got a lot of these wrong notions that the woman has to be there for my sexual needs, cook and even make money, and she has to serve my parents and serve her in-laws and do whatnot household chores. So this stereotyping relationship is simply making it dysfunctional and suffocating. According to me, an ideal relationship should be healthy, and where there is the gray area, where there is talking, where there is no judgment, where people are growing together. Yeah, one-sided forced relationship, one-sided, I think it's absolutely toxic. It's better not to be in a relationship than being in a relationship which is absolutely dysfunctional. And by dysfunctional, I mean where emotions are not validated, where emotionally, the partners are not emotionally available, or both the parties are not emotionally available, and a lot of dysregulated emotions are there. So do think about it, and I think we need more of healthy relationship in today's time. Only if we have healthy relationships in and around us, I think we can have a better society, and we can collectively be more happy and not so abusive and toxic. Yeah, so please do add in your thoughts below, and please take care of yourself and spend some time alone, and do navigate inside of you, inside of your the entire shelf of emotions that you have, or you experience, or you have experienced in the past, and do navigate, do introspect, and relationships doesn't always have to be the best one and the worst one. Relationships can be plain healthy good relationships also. So there is something between extremely romanticized version and extremely demonized version. There is this healthy relationship, that gray area. That's what healthy relationship is. Be it in-law, be it daughter-in-law, be it daughter, mother, father, lover, husband, wife, parent, children, caregiver, anything. So there is the gray area, and that gray area is called healthy relationship. There are the extremes that we see, and none of the people, because they are so unaware, they don't understand what a healthy relationship looks like. So yes, let's create more of awareness, and please take care of yourself. It's never too late. And in case if you would want to add in some of your experience, you can always feel free and comment below. And please take care of yourself, and do love yourself. Bye.